What is up, YouTube? Storm here, coming at you guys with another discussion video today. Today I'll be talking about obviously the card in question up top here, which is Elemental Hero Stratos. And rather than giving you guys the can it come back, blah blah blah, free my nigger Stratos or whatever, I'm gonna give you guys the rundown basically on when the card was banned and why it was banned in the first place. Because I think a lot of people act like it was just banned out of nowhere, but when you look in context, the card actually makes sense as to why it was banned. So first off, we're going to take a trip down memory lane to when Stratos first came out, and this was during, I think it was Dad Returns, I think back in 2008. The card was absolutely insane with, the combos with Disc Commander. I believe it was like one of the... At 3, it was probably one of the most powerful cards in the game history. And yes, it's a deck from 2008, but even if you look at today's decks, it really does hold up. It's one of the better decks in the game's history. And it's still, I think, and to this, and Stratos being at 3 really was a big part of that. So the biggest thing with Stratos is that Stratos was obviously limited to 1, and it was a big part of the Teletad deck. Fast forward to when it was banned, which was the October 2013 ban list. Now, up to this point, the OCG and the TCG had what was like a united ban list. Now, the worst thing about this type of system is that the OCG has a completely different format because they get cards ahead of us. So typically, we would get cards after them, which would mean that we'd get to play test a deck for like a week or two, and then it would get hit. It was very similar to the adjusted list where full power before mages and pals was only legal for like about 3 weeks. So it was very similar with what happened. Full power. We didn't get full access to full power fire, 3.5 axis fire fists until like April 20 of 15, which was last year, and you kind of get an idea. So there were multiple cards that the OCG and the TCG disagreed on. Those the cards aren't limited to Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, some of the staple traps, including Torrential Tribute and cards like Solemn Judgment. And Stratos was also on those lists of cards that the OCG and the TCG could never agree on. And to this day, you can, on the OCG side, while Heavy is banned, Harpy's Feather Duster is legal, and then you see cards like Stratos is still legal, and then you see cards like Monster Reborn, cards like Solemn Judgment are still legal in the OCG, whereas in the TCG those cards are banned, and Stratos is sort of similar to this treatment. This is the main reason why Stratos was banned in the first place and is still banned to this day, is simply because the OCG and the TCG have a different ban list. And to be honest, this is a good thing, because this means we get to playtest things at full power rather than getting them when they're neutered and castrated and never getting to play them at their full power. And I think honestly people want a united ban list and act like the OCG list is so much better, but at the same time the OCG typically moves from tier 0 to tier 0 format with Reckless Abandon, and this typically leads to people, I feel like the game when full power before mages and powers running around in the OCG, there were literally tournaments where you could not play the deck because people were just tired of seeing it. And I feel like that's one of the best things about this, divided ban list, is that we do get decks later than we do get to play test decks full power. Then now as far as Stratos coming back now, because I feel like we've discussed enough the reasons why it's banned in the first place. The main problem with bringing Stratos back is that heroes are one of those decks where people will play it no matter what the format is, and people looked at the heroes weren't doing anything in the ARG format, but you also have to keep in mind many ARG events don't have a lot of player attendance, so it's kind of like it's difficult to judge them when they have a totally different format than us. However, as far as what Stratos, the biggest thing with Stratos is not so much, it was always been a part of silly decks like Airblade Turbo and etc. But the biggest thing is that hero players will just not drop the deck, and this comes from someone who plays heroes, is that I build them pretty much every format. I'm just not maining them. I'm not really thinking about ever taking them to a tournament simply because the Cosmo and Monarch matchups are very painful. And the thing about Stratos is people forget it has two really good effects. It has an effect where it searches, and it has an effect where not where it can blow up spells or traps equal to the number of hero monsters you control, which that is a really flexible effect, and that's one of the reasons that I feel like the biggest reason why I feel like Stratos is probably just eternally placed on the ban list is not just because Konami doesn't like the card, but that it's better that it stays banned, because that means hero players don't really hero players will probably pick up the deck again, it'll start topping, and then Shadow Mist will go to 1. Now, personally, I'd rather have 3 Shadow Mists and no Stratos than have Stratos and 1 Shadow Mist like they do in the OCG, because that effectively kills masked heroes. And really, heroes don't... Would Stratos completely break the deck? No, but people won't stop playing the deck. It's like the problem they had in the OCG. And in summary, I think, should Stratos come back? No. Probably not, but I hope you guys have kind of been enlightening to explain to you guys what heroes actually need. I feel like heroes need better actual fusion monsters, and that advance your game state similar to Construct. That way Blaze Man is a little more useful. And heroes could also use a few more decent main deck monsters. Like, that's honestly the really problem with heroes, is that you play such a low monster count because there's so many just not good hero monsters. Most hero players don't even play Blaze Man and Alias, so it kind of gives you an idea with like how few good monsters they have. So anyway, guys, as always, thank you guys for watching the video today. Really appreciate it when you guys watch my videos. Tune on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for more content. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. This is Orstorm, signing out.